Hello and welcome back to the weekend episode of building a Metro 6R4 Subaru type hybrid type smash up thing. Not feeling too great the last day or so. I'm not too sure if it was the chicken casserole. The chicken had been in the freezer quite a while, but the wife seems okay, but she's got a stronger stomach than me. Have to put up with me. But anyway, we'll power through it. Stupidly, I'll let you guys decide what we should be doing in this video. Wasn't planning on starting the front end just yet, but hey, I'll put the vote up. You said do the front end, so I'm going to do a slight compromise. I think we're going to start and have a quick look at the radiator while we're here, because it's at the back of the car at the moment, near the doors, so we can just work on it. And we'll just see what we can do there, mocking up position-wise, see what we're going to have to do with pipe work. It gives us something to think about over the next week or so and order some bits up if we need to. Ordering bits, what did I do? Nearly ordered a small race battery, but we'll worry about that again later. And a cheap air filter kit, but again, we'll worry about that later. So yeah, let's start with that, and then we'll get on with the front end. I wasn't doing all the front end because I don't have all the panels. But we've definitely got enough to start on one side and get an idea, get a feel for what really needs to be chopped, because we do know that there's a lot of things that need to come off the front end. Wind's coming in, blowing things off the shelf. All right, let's get on. We'll talk about food and dinner later. Okay, what we got? Radiator. I think, to be honest, it defines its own position. There really isn't much we can do about it. Want it in the central more than likely, depending on what's underneath. Roll bar defines how far we can drop it down. Fans obviously define how far we can move it back and stuff. I'm going to fit it like this, with the fans at the back still, because one, that's how it was in the front, so obviously it's going to suck air through. We can always change it later to put sort of thinner fans on that pull, or we can fit fans to the front pushers, but for now, let's try and reuse what we've got instead of spending more money on fans, unless we have to because of space. So yeah, obviously we'll change the inlets and outlets, but we can modify that later. That's easier to do than it is to try and sort of swap fans on the front and back. You know, it's free. We can just get the TIG welder out. Not that I've done that for a while. Mounts on these are just a spike. So basically what we want to do is build some sort of framework, which with some holes and some grommets and some rubber bushes, that mounts to. So that's in principle what we need to try and do. Try and drop it down as far as we can. I don't think we're going to go too far down, just to the bottom of the wheel wells anyway. And yeah, I think I'm thinking in my head, we'll build some sort of framework first for it to sit on, and we can then make the body work. This join that. Airflow, obviously on the 6R4 you've got window ducts and you've also got side pod vents, so getting air in is not going to be a problem as far as I know. Getting air out, it's not going to be too much of an issue. We can cut holes in this later, and also the rear tailgate of a 6R4 has air vents already in it, because again the engine was in the back, so there's always gaps. So one, it's not going to look too weird or different because it's going to have air vents, so hopefully there'll be enough. If not, we'll have to just figure stuff out later. Again, we could go for smaller roundabout radiators, all sorts, but let's try and reuse what we've got, because we've got it. I'll try and only buy stuff that I need to, that helps me out and gets around a problem easier and quicker. Well, just easier sometimes, or just gets you out of a problem. So let's get the grinder and see what we can do. Okay, more metal coming off the car. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that bit. Still more trimming around the wheel well, but I don't want to take too much out. I'm not a butcher. Where's my radiator gone? Let's have a look. Fits lower. So yeah, roll bar comes up a bit high on one side because of where the exhaust outlet normally comes, so it's got a bit of a kink in it. So without modifying any of the roll bar, anti-roll bar that is. I think that's going to be the position where it's going to be. So I think we'll build up a bit of framework, a bit of panelling that's just above that, and that defines our height, and that's just where it goes basically, like that. And we'll work out the pipes and top mounts later on. I don't think we can go much further forward, can't go much further back, can't go left or right. So yeah, as you can see, it's got a bit of a kink in it. Obviously that's where the sort of exhaust gives a bit of exhaust clearance, I guess. Makes sense to that. So you could modify that, you could maybe get straight ones, I ain't got a clue, but let's not worry about it for the moment, let's just use that as our height. Okay, I'm thinking Project Binky here, that I should try and make up a channel, a panel. So yeah, I don't have a folding machine or anything. 2 length of bits of metal, we'll bend them over. We're trying to make like a U shape. A U, oh anyway, let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll just slap some angle in. Sorry for all the OCD people out there. Let me tidy up for a second. There we go. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, I think we've got another couple of OCD people now, haven't we? Nothing wrong with OCD people, apart from lockdown, and you can't come down and help clean up. So I've got nothing against OCD people. More than happy for them to come down at some point. So yeah, do apologise. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. With a folder it's a lot easier, not that I've got one, I've never used one, but from what I've seen on YouTube, a folder's a lot easier and you get a much neater curve, you don't get a load of hammer marks and you get it a bit straighter as well and blah blah blah. But you know, I'm a man in a shed, so I don't know. So far it's looking okay. I've got one more fold to do. As you can see, making a channel, and that will make like a little cross member, and then the boot floor will then come across this, and then obviously we can then mount the radiator into that. So we'll do one more fold. I'll do it in time lapse, and yeah. Oh, man, one day, eh? Big unit, proper tools. Chris, you can be my cleaner. One day. Come on. Get knackered and you can't even undo the bolts. Not even lunchtime yet, and I'm weak as anything. Wow. I've seen worse. Now, obviously, it needs to be angled. I was hoping I was going to get it out of one piece, but I think I might have to make another smaller piece up. But it's not the end of the world, because, you know, it'll be nice to make it all in one piece, but I'm limited by the size of the length of my metal, pardon the expression. So I think by the time we put the drops in it, this is going to be too short. So what I'm thinking of doing is we'll do the drop on one side, and then we'll make up another short piece to bring it up the other side. And then, so yeah, basically that will sit in there, and then the floor pan will bring the floor to come to that as well. It gives a bit of a strength. Mostly didn't even need it really, thinking about it, but well, I've done it now. Okay, cross member in. I think it'll be quite useful later on to actually mount the exhaust pipe too as well underneath. So I'm not too sure whether I'll punch holes in this yet and then plug weld from the underside. Obviously, as always, it's going to be easier to plug weld from the top. So yeah, what we'll obviously have to do is trim all this off and then obviously turn that into, but that's the level of the boot floor. Gives a bit of strength. A few more little bit of welds for the moment. I'll just put a bit of epoxy prime on it just to stop it rusting. And then yeah, there'll obviously be some holes with some rubber grommets in. And I'm hoping the boot shuts. We can obviously play with the angle a little bit, but and the positioning, you can go forward, not a problem. So yeah. Bop, bop, bop! Check out the merch stock for Bop t-shirts. Just put my thoughts down on video. Got an outlet, inlet, outlet, inlet, outlet. I can't remember which one's which, but anyway. Thinking of moving this to the end here, so it can come out over here. Normally it's best to try and get them as far away as possible, because obviously it then allows the water to flow through, but again, it all depends on radiator, and all depends on your positions. And this one down here, I think I'll put onto the end, so it sort of can come up, so nothing's facing backwards, basically. The idea is to run a secondary water pump as well, electric pump, but we'll have to just see how that goes. Because we may just run it without it to start with and just see. Easy enough things to add. Okay, you guys wanted it. I shouldn't have let you vote. You wanted me to hack the front end, so that's what we're going to do. There's only so much we can do because we haven't got a front bumper yet, or a driver's wing. I've ordered up 2 new wings actually and a front bumper. So as you can see, the main problem is we've got an engine in the way. I don't see it as much of a problem, I just see it as a challenge, and we'll worry about that later. So obviously what we don't know at the moment is we've got the sort of forward backwards position of this bonnet, but we don't know if this angle is correct. So what we need to do to get that angle is to get the wing on. And we can't get the wing on yet because this big chunky extra strong support, I don't know why Subaru put it on there, but we're going to get rid of it. And we'll eventually build some space frame KG type thing. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll worry about that another day. So yeah, let me go get the wing. I'll try and shout. I do apologise about microphones and rubbish. So as you go, there's the wing, it goes on there. But obviously it doesn't go on because of that dodgy support. So we need to cut that dodgy support off. I'll tell you what, having a quick gander, I don't think the bonnet's too far off. It may have to just, but obviously until we get the wing on. Obviously you can see we've got a few problems here. We've got like a battery is where the headlight goes, so something has to go. So again, that's why I've been looking at little race batteries on the Mini I did before. I mounted the battery back here actually. Again, I don't see I see problems, but I don't see major ones. I don't see anything that I'm going to go, oh no, I can't think of a solution for that. So I've got some amazing solutions. After doing a few of these a few times, you think of ways around them. Whether they all work or not is another question. But I think the first thing to do, let's get the reciprocating saw and try and clean this up so we can get this bolted on into position. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be a long video. Sorry about if there's adverts, but hey, oh well. Oh, my tummy's still not good. Got a lot of gas. Not that you need to know that. Anyway, we're getting there. Chop off little bits. I tell you what, if anybody wants to do any of these conversions, get yourself a reciprocating saw. Absolutely lifesaver. So yeah, we've got space at the back here now. We can just see this inner wing now, stopping it going across. Needs to go across another couple of more inches. And yeah, should be looking quite good. So yeah, a bit more work, and yeah, I think I might remove a few boxes and get a bit more space. Hey! Doesn't. I don't think the video does it justice, but it looks mean already. So again, I think the bonnet's high because it's hitting the air filter and things outside, hitting the oil filler. So we can sort all that. That's not a problem at all. It looks like the sort of width at the front's not as bad. Look, you could nearly get away with that. Okay, it's not completely fitted yet, but. So we're just doing, what I'm doing is obviously double checking the door line. Obviously I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but you know, you can understand it's got to be, you know, you can't have overlap in the door, you can't have too much of a gap, you know, so that gives you the line, the datum of going forward. Obviously looking at the wheels, looks pretty central in the wheel arch as well, which is always a good sign. So yeah, there's a lot of space. That water bottle was behind that battery, so I don't have an issue. I think with a small battery, that'll pop back in there, not a problem. As I said, get one of those race batteries, can even be mounted inside if they're not, I don't think if they've got liquid on it. As I said, I'm not building this for any stupid race series anyway. It's just to, don't know why, it's just for lockdown, isn't it? So it's just a lot of problem solving. So as you can see, you've got to cut loads off the front here, off this cross member, but again, it's not a problem. Shorten that down. We'll obviously build some sort of roll bar type thing to join it all back up later. But I'm actually quite pleased with that. Obviously still got that issue, but we've got some ideas around that anyway. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm happy. I'll just show you in a minute. I bought, obviously somebody mentioned it in a previous video, I bought some Metro headlights thinking, oh yeah, they're the right ones. They weren't the right ones. Found out that the Metro 6R4 uses a Van Pla MG headlights, which have got a slight different angle to them. I'll get them out in a minute. I managed to find a set. They weren't cheap, second hand, but needs must. So yeah, looking good. Okay, sorry if the wind's getting in the way. I'm just having my lunch. Leftover chicken fajita wrap from dinner. I don't know if it's going to do anything to my tummy. Hopefully it'll make it better. But anyway, what I'm just going to do is show you my fix, or one of my fixes, to this problem with the engine sticking out the front end. I'm going to use magic and CGI. 3, 2, 1. BOOM! What engine? What extended front? No, we're not extending the front. Look at that. Hey! I'm a genius. Genius. God, I amaze myself sometimes. Just while I'm having my lunch, again, thanks to all the support. All your comments have been great. If you don't subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help me, as well as watching the videos. And the best thing you can do of all is hit the like button. That really, really helps me. If you want to support me any other ways, check out the description. There's loads of different ways to support me. But just being here, watching it, that's the main thing. That's helped me a lot. Had some severe issues today, so I've had to get a lift down, which on the bonus side allows me to drink sooner in the day. Not quite sure how I'm getting back yet, but hopefully we'll figure it out. And I'm thinking for dinner, if my tummy feels good, but meat feast pizzas from Co-op. I do love them, treat myself. £3.50 though, not the cheapest, but yeah, do like them. But anyway, like and subscribe. I'm having a beer. Just emptying some of the other side here. Took the air filter off. I've just hacked it off for the now. Kept the flow meter sensor, just so hopefully it'll still start. Gives me a lot more room there. ABS pump. Part of me wants to keep it because hey, it's ABS, but this is a rally car. And Richard Bunning from Bad Obsession Motorsport tweeted me and told me get rid of it. So we can't argue with Bad Obsession Motorsport, can we? So we're going to dump the ABS and we'll just run a brake bias to the back, and then again saves loads more room there. Power steering bottle can be moved back a bit, and yeah, I think we won't have too much trouble this side. I did slightly start cutting the tyre up there weeks ago, thinking that's where I needed to cut, but actually I'm thinking we can actually keep quite a lot of this inner wing, and that structure, that box structure that was on the other side here, as you can see here, I think we can remake it, but just smaller, but give some strength back again to the top of the turret. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So yeah, still going all right. Just stripping bits and bobs, and as I said, I don't have enough to make the front end, so other thoughts in my head. Smaller alternator, move it back. We're going to get rid of the power steering pump, power steering air conditioning pump. We could get rid of the power steering pump, run an electric one remotely somewhere in one of the things if we wanted to, and then drop the alternator down into that position. That could be another option as well. So yeah, many different options. Well, I've removed the air conditioning pump and the alternator just at the moment, but you can see actually you've got quite a bit of space to play with. The only limiting factor is how far you can move things back, because obviously you still need to be able to reach the pulley. Well, obviously the alternator was on the furthest out pulley, so we could move it back, no problem, there's no issues with that. Maybe swap the alternator. It's quite a small alternator, but you can get smaller ones. And as I said, the electric pump could go. But I did see, and I'll try and upload some photos, I saw a bumper, a bonnet on Facebook a few years back for sale, and it had like a lamp pod built into it and on like 2 sprouts. It didn't look sort of brilliant, but you know, I could do that, and that just completely eliminates my issue, if you sort of mean. Okay, you're not going to have the grille there like the MG Metro did have, but it's a compromise for now. But we're just going to have to think on that. There we go, quick video of the difference on lights. As you can see, obviously these are opposite sides, just to try and get you a picture, so obviously that's not why they're different. But as you can see, the back boxes are the same, but basically the bonnets on the Van den Pla come down a bit more like they do on these ones. They don't come straight across, so as you can see here, there's a lot more of a gap there, or much more of a taper. Comes out much wider, so which obviously helps follow the line. Obviously you can fit these ones, but obviously they're just recessed. They still point in the same direction, but they just don't follow the bonnet line. And got clear indicators as well, which is obviously synonymous to the 6R4. So obviously people ain't going to tell the difference now between mine and the real one. You get a sneak peek because you're being lazy. Shouldn't treat you. I think going to replace it. I was googling yesterday. You can get, you know, obviously you can get little race batteries. So I think they're like half the size of that. I can tack that up inside. Not a problem. So yeah. ABS, that's going. Not that ABS, that ABS. 6R4! I had a beer and now I sat down. Called a friend. And I'm knackered now. I can't be bothered to get up. I must get up. We've got stuff to do. Oh, Matthew, get up. Whip the battery out. As you can see, those are big battery space. So I think, yep, we need to order up 100 quid, but a much smaller battery can be tucked away further back. Not a problem. As you can see here, these are the lights, as I said, tapered to match that. They nearly go in. There's just the fuse box and things just moving, as you can see. What it does do is just gives you the line. Actually, you can tell that this is going to be quite close to the cam cover, but we can work around that. So I'm thinking that we should be able to make these obviously screw in and bolt if the fittings, some of them are being broken, but we can make a panel that comes out off the inner wing to locate that. I don't really want to make too many fittings or anything, try and make up any of the inner wing mounts or the wing mounts just at the moment, because as I said, I've ordered up 2 new panels, so they could be a bit different, and this is all just about getting an idea and a feel for the front end. Yes, I'm making excuses. What? Okay, you can't really see it. You can see the little nut though, bolt. I'll just put just a little tab on there, just so I can see things aligning. And get my shut lines. Perfect. Anyway, I think before we go too much further in the next episode, I need to get it out and have a bit of a look, get the rear body kit on, and just try and get this, make sure everything's sort of balanced before I go too berserk with all the rest of the welding. We can sort of, take a bit of a stab at things and just see. Obviously we've taken a lot of weight off the original car, so, you know, suspension's lifted in areas because obviously, you've taken so much weight off. But yeah, I think it's looking good. Worst case, we just jack the thing up to as high as it can, and it's a rally car. I think we're getting close to the end of the day, but I think we've got time for one more beer as I'm getting a lift. Okay, I'm going to wrap the video up. We've made some good progress. Not lots of progress, but we've made progress. We haven't done a lot of physical progress, but I think we've done a lot of mental progress. We've got a lot more idea now what's going on with the front end, whether what's going to work, what's not going to work, things we now need to research. So again, feedback. Go on, say you've seen an alternator that does this, or blah, 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 or do this, do that. Love ideas. I'm trying not to extend the front wing, so you can say that, but I'm trying to keep things in proportion the best I can. That's why I'm whacking 6 spotlights on the front, which I think is a very good idea. So, thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you don't already. Please be a subscriber. It really does help me. And if you want to support me, just see the descriptions, or if you think you've got any parts or anything laying around that you think, hang on a minute, that'll look good on his car, give me a shout. You never know. All right, take it easy. As I said, Co-op pizza, I'm going to stop and get it. Sophia's fixed, I need to go pick that up as well. So cheers, Pete, mate. So anyway, till next time, see you soon, stay safe.